Welcome back to the program on a Monday. Look, Pete Hoekstra has been a regular guest on this program for quite some time now. Was a member of Congress for 18 years, House Intelligence Committee chair, ambassador to the Netherlands, working for Donald Trump, working closely with Donald Trump now. And apparently, we're told, endorsed by Donald Trump as he ran to become elected leader of a breakaway faction of the Michigan Republican Party. You see, there's been this war within the Republican Party in Michigan for months now, years really, I guess. And it's not unlike what's going on around the country. So Pete's back with us today. Pete, good to see you here again today.
Good to be with you. Thank you, Steve.
So, all right, so you've got the Michigan Republican Party who elected Christina Caramo as the chair. But then in the last week or two, there's been a lot of hostility, civil war, infighting, however you want to describe it. And then you were elected as chair of the anti-Caramo faction of the Michigan Republican Party. I'm confused, Pete. Who is the Michigan Republican Party from your perspective? Who is it? Is it Christina Caramo? Is it you? Is it both? Where are we?
No, from my perspective, it is me. I would not have run for chairman if I didn't believe that the group you described as a breakaway faction, I believe they operated as the Republican committee in Michigan on January 6th. They held a legitimate meeting, followed all the bylaws of the state party, and removed Christina Caramo from the position of chair of the party. The bylaws then say that within a certain number of days, I think it's like 30 days, the state committee has to elect a new committee chairperson, and that's what happened on Saturday. Christina has refused to recognize the results of the state committee. I'm assuming that this is going to have to be adjudicated.
Well, in fairness, Pete, she's not the only one rejecting it. I mean, my mailbox here is full of a lot of folks here. Some support you, many do not. It is it's a civil war inside the Republican Party. I don't know if the Republican Party is more functional today than it was before this election over the weekend. Now, my understanding is you got the endorsement of Donald Trump. Is that correct?
The Trump campaign weighed in on Saturday morning and indicated through Vance Patrick, who was one of the candidates, that they wanted when he was being removed from the ballot because he was a low vote getter, they said, hey, we want Pete Hoekstra as the chairman of the Michigan Republican Party. His vote shifted, as did some of the votes from some of the other candidates. And so on the second ballot, I had 50 votes, and the other candidate had 22.
So who are the people, Pete, then, that don't recognize you as a legitimate leader? See, because what we have here, we have one group that doesn't see you as a legitimate leader, the other group that doesn't see Christina Caramo as a legitimate leader, and what we have in the year 2024 is a chance for Republicans in Michigan to win a Senate seat for the first time in a long time because the Democrats put up a fairly weak candidate, and there's an open Senate seat. We've got a critical presidential election, and we've got Republicans all over the place in Michigan, and it's not just Michigan, but it is the worst case scenario here currently. How does this get rectified? You say it's going to take legal action, but how does that help the party or help us win seats?
Well, number one, the group on January 6th that voted to remove Christine Caramo, they removed her for lack of performance. They didn't see any party building, fundraising, messaging that was preparing the party for November. This is not a philosophical issue about who supports Donald Trump, who doesn't, or those types of things. It was about we need to put in place the structure to be effective and put together the ground game to win for Donald Trump in 2024 and to do exactly what you said. Win the electoral votes, win a Senate seat, keep our congressional delegation and grow our congressional delegation and take the leadership, the majority in the state house. They just didn't see the performance coming out of the Christina Caramo administration. So they voted her out and said, we've got 7-8 months to get our act together. We need new leadership focused on this. We need a seamless relationship with the Trump campaign. That's where we're headed.
So you say it's going to have to be adjudicated. This is going to end up in court.
The Karamo camp has said that they don't believe these types of things should be in court. I'm expecting that Ronna Romney is going to have the opportunity to, review it, and she will. They have a meeting in 10 days, Steve, in Las Vegas, a winter meeting. At that meeting, they will have to decide who they are going to credential to represent the Michigan Republican Party. Will it be Pete Hoekstra or Christina Karamo? And they will make that decision. They should make that decision in the next couple of days.
Right. I guess my point is this: can't the Republican Party, the National Party, just say this is who we recognize and be done with it? I don't understand how it would be either way. I mean, why would you let it linger out there? Because the number one job of a chair, whether it's you or her or doesn't matter who it is raising money to help candidates win elections. That's job number one, is it not? And so why wouldn't the Republican Party with Ronna Romney step in now and say, here's what we see? Because it's a political party. A political party can choose whoever they want. That's kind of the way it works. You can complain about it, but that's the way it is. That's why Democrats have super delegates, and Republicans could say, we're done with the arguing. Here's who's in charge. Here's who's running our party in Michigan. End of discussion. Why not just do that today?
Now, that process has already begun, asking the RNC for an adjudication and a determination as to who is the legitimate Republican Party in Michigan. Once they adjudicate, I will abide by the results, and I would hope that Christina would abide by the results.
And, well, it doesn't matter if they do or don't. If they say it's our game and you're out or you're in, what's not to abide by? The problem is you have all this infighting. We see Ron DeSantis get out of the race, endorse Donald Trump yesterday. We see a big opportunity to take seats in the U.S. Senate, expand the House and the number of Republicans in the House. This is the kind of crap that goes on. Democrats don't do this. Anyhow, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. We think that we'll be recognized. We will do exactly that. You say, why wouldn't it happen? Right now, we don't have the keys or the codes to get to the bank accounts and those types of things. Those relinquished by Christina and her team if and when the RNC recognizes us as the legitimate Republican Party in Michigan.
We'll see what happens. Pete Hoekstra, thank you for being here. I'm sure a lot more to go on this story, Pete, but thank you for being here.
Yep. Hey, great. Thanks, Steve.
All right. Coming up, speaking of the Trump campaign, Liz Harrington joining me right after the break here from the Trump campaign to discuss Ron DeSantis leaving, endorsing President Trump. Nikki Haley, the last, bit of opposition left. She should leave now, too, but has not yet. We'll be back.